everyone and welcome to CFC Fan TV. This is my Cardiff City preview. Listen, I didn't want to do this today because I'm running out. There's not really much going on other than to say that this should be an easy win. Now, of course, Cardiff are right at the bottom of the table, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I think it's a straight win for us now. I spoke to Lee and Claude, as you know. I put a video up about top four and they predicted that we would win 3-0 against Cardiff. I'm not so confident. You just don't know what's going to happen at the moment. But I will say that Cardiff have been awful all season. I really do think they've been terrible. I think for a team that's come up to the Premier League, I think they should have done a lot better. I know that awful tragedy with their player Salah was meant to come and unfortunately lost his life, which is horrendously sad for the club. But prior to that, I think they just should have done a lot better. I do think they'll start to pick up a few more points now towards the end of the season, which is sort of why I'm worried, because obviously this is a relegation battle for them now. They're right at the bottom. I think Huddersfield are out. I think Fulham, unfortunately, are going to go down. And I think Cardiff are going to be battling out with Burnley and other teams. But I do think, as it stands, I think it will stay the same this year. I don't see it changing because, I don't see the likes of Southampton going down. I think obviously teams thought they were going to have a bit of a tough time this season, and I don't doubt it. But I just think they've got enough experience in the Premier League to sort of pick up points at the end, something that I think Cardiff don't have. On the contrary to that, having said that, we have really struggled in our last few games. We haven't played well. I think the loss against Everton before the international break was terrible. And you can say we dominated the first half, and we were just really unlucky. But that's the whole point, really. We're dominating and we're not scoring any goals. I was talking to Claude and Lee about the fantastic goals we used to see from the likes of Michael Essien, that goal he scored against Arsenal all those years ago, even the one he scored against Barcelona, but that's obviously Champions League. But nevertheless, I haven't seen goals like that in ages, and I really miss seeing goals like that, seeing exciting goals. It's more just, work the ball into the box, and it's fine if you score a goal. We're not doing it though, so it's just a bit frustrating, So I've tried to pick a team, and I've actually changed it around slightly. Maybe you won't agree with me. Maybe Surrey will not put out this team. I've tried to change it around a little bit, whether you think it's a good idea or not. Just based on the fact that I think we should change it up a little bit and give a couple of others a chance. So I'm going to start from the back. Sammy's going to put a team graphic up now. So here is my team. Kepa's in goal. He has to stay in goal for me. Whether you've been happy with his performances this season or not, he is a long-term investment, and that's just the way we have to look at it. That they've not spent 70 million on a goalkeeper for no reason. So Kepa's in goal. Then we go to the middle of the field, and I have put Rudiger in alongside David Luiz. Not saying I've been happy with David Luiz's performances all round, but I think putting Christensen in is a bit late in the season on now. I think if he's going to come into the team, it would take like a whole overhaul, and actually they'd have to sort of change the system up. They wouldn't be able to rotate David Luiz and Christensen, because we always need to be solid at the back. So I think I've just kept David Luiz and Rudiger in. I think Rudiger's been good this season. I'm sorry to say, they've all had their bad moments, but if you're talking about how consistent he's been over the season, I think he has done a good job. Dave is in there. I know a lot of you are going to be critical of Dave. He has not had a good season. But again, I think it's too late to change it around. I don't really think we've got a suitable replacement for that role at the moment. Where I have changed it up is I put Emerson in for Alonso. Alonso's not had some good games, no matter what way you look at it. And I think giving Emerson the time, if we're looking for a more stable back line, then I think he would be the one to go. I think Alonso was a fantastic wing back, and now that they're not really playing in that role, it doesn't seem to work. So Emerson's in there. Then in the middle, I've changed it up again. We've gone Kante in the middle, of course, but I've put Loftus-Cheek in there alongside Kovacic. The reason I put Kovacic in, and I know a lot of you are going to disagree with me because you think he's had a bad few games too, but this Jorginho debate is going on and on. So I want to see if it's different, and that's why I put him in my team. I wonder if putting those two in will change anything. Barkley has been on international duty along with the boys, but I just think this would be a more of a, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I think it's just time we changed up the middle slightly, and I'm willing to change things up. And against Cardiff, if you're thinking of them as the lesser team, then this shouldn't really be a problem. Moving further forward, then I've gone for Hazard, Pedro, and I've gone for Giroud up front. I think Giroud deserves a start in this game. It's going to be one of our easier fixtures, as you say, even though they are fighting relegation. But we need goals, and Higuain hasn't scored any as of late, so got to put Giroud in there, I'm afraid. This is with the hope that if we are doing really well, that Hudson-Odoi can just come on midway through or 60 minutes in, and we can give Hazard a rest, because obviously they've been on international duty, so it would be nice to give them a rest. But I'm not confident in not starting Hazard, and I think Pedro's been, at Everton, I suppose you could say he was half decent. Sammy doesn't agree with me, but a lot of fans are saying that Pedro was sort of the only half decent player on the pitch, so I'm going to put him in based on that. Comment below, let me know your team thoughts. I don't expect this to be as much of an easy game as everybody thinks it is, no matter how terrible Cardiff has been. I remember us going to Swansea a few years ago and us putting out a team that hadn't been played together before and surely weren't going to play together again. So I think you never know what can happen when you travel away from home. I think even if you look at Arsenal's record, their record away from home is terrible. Even though they've got a load of good fixtures left, they're still not confident they're going to get into the top four because they don't trust their away form. So I just like to be a little bit cautious of all these games. I don't want to get my hopes up. I don't want to say we're going to win 3-0. But all being well, all going to plan, I'm going to say 3-1. I'd like to say we're not going to concede, but I'm not, after the Everton game, I'm just not so confident. So if we can get a 2-3-0 out of this and we keep a clean sheet, then I'll be absolutely thrilled with that. But I just want to be, a little bit cautious of my predictions at the moment and not be like, yeah, we're going to win 5-0, because you guys seem to think that I'm always going to jinx it, but I'm not. I'm just, trying to be a bit realistic here, everyone. It'll be interesting to see what team Sarri puts out. It'll be interesting to see how they're doing in training. On a side note, I'd just like to say happy birthday to Ramirez. It was his birthday earlier this week or over the weekend. I miss you, Ramirez. You're one player that I really didn't want to sell. Out of all the players we've sold, and I think me and Ben in a couple of weeks' time are going to do the best and worst transfers. Ben's idea, I thought it was a great idea for a video. But yeah, really miss you, darling. Please come back. Anytime you want to come back, I'd happily have you back at Chelsea, and I'm sure a lot of fans would also say the same. So yeah, there's my Cardiff preview. I'm not entirely looking forward to the game, but I'm hoping that we can salvage something and sort of regain, if anything, the win will be, a bit of a confidence boost and to get a bit more of, get some more good atmosphere around the stadium. Because, we have got a big game coming up. Well, we've got Brighton, then we've got West Ham, but the West Ham game is going to be huge. And it's actually that's going to be a big game in terms of the fact that we need 3 points there. And, West Ham does scare me, not so much at home. Obviously, we had a 0-0 there. I was there earlier this season. It was bloody boring, but, like I said, with our recent run of form, we want to make sure that we don't go into any of these games thinking, oh yeah, it'll just be an easy win. Because like Pep Guardiola said, not even he goes into that thinking it, and they've got an absolutely amazing team. So it'd be silly for Sarri and his team to go in like that. But yeah, I hope it's going to be, I'm predicting 3-1. Comment below, let me know your score predictions. And of course, if you like this video, please subscribe. And good luck to all the match-going fans. I'm hoping it's a nice day for you. I'm hoping it's not too cold. Ben is going to be vlogging the game, and then he is going to be in the studio next week as well, because I'm going to be away for a couple of days. But I will be back, and I'll be watching the video from abroad. And then yeah, I'm going to be back outside the bridge for the foreseeable few games, and we're also going to start to do fan cams again. So for those of you fans that want to come along and do an interview after, because I think it's crucial towards the end of this season that we get your fans' opinions, especially the match-going fans, because we want to know what your take on is, because actually it's quite good. Sometimes I love watching the games from home, watching them on TV, because I can see more clearly what's going on. Other times I like to be in the stadium and see what the overall atmosphere is amongst the fans, and see what their thoughts are. So comment below, let me know, guys. And yeah, peace out from me.